Hey guys, Anthony here, AFT Dog Training. Go try something new here. Got a new setup for my camera system. It's a pretty nice day out here in PA. Do it in my backyard. And I'm just testing out this new stand here, but while I'm doing that and filming myself, I wanted to go over a few things that we get constant questions on is when you're raising your puppy. There's a couple different things here when a dog comes into your life. You either adopt a puppy, buy a puppy, or you usually adopt an older dog or come into an older dog somehow. When you have the puppy in your hands, people always ask, when does the training begin? That training and raising that dog begins immediately, as soon as it's in your hands. All right? So what does that mean? You know, the worst thing to do is continuing to pick up the dog and do. The worst thing to do is to pick up the dog. If you're following, I hate to call out trainers, but world-known positive only force-free dog trainer that is using nothing but force and aversiveness is Zach George. And if you watch his videos of raising his dog's attacking other dogs, his dog's biting him, his dogs are biting his wife. He has one dog in the house. I have up to 13 dogs in my house sometimes. I personally own 7. 8 are in the house right now. So, and all of my dogs are adopted. I've adopted them from a puppy. I've adopted them when they're a year, 2 years old. Some of them are semi-feral. They've all come with their issues. The worst thing to do, though, back on track here, is to pick up the puppy all the time and coddle it. You're causing insecurities with the dog. There's trainers out there who say that, oh, petting the dog's not reinforcing anything. That is nonsense. And I don't understand why these are known trainers that are out there giving out this bad information. So when the police dog is looking at the criminal and they're sitting there petting them and grabbing them up, touch and praise is making that dog want to attack that criminal and do its job. So why do you think it's any different when the dog is in a bad state of mind that you're picking and coddling up the dog and praising them? You're talking about two psychological things here. One is the drive to go get the person. The other one is lack of drive and is insecurity, and you're reinforcing it. I will call out this hypocrisy every single time. Just take a few psychology courses like I did at Rutgers. You will understand this. The people that are saying that type of thing most likely never graduated from college. Not to talk about myself a whole lot about the college, where I'm 2 class shy of my master's degree. And I've taken enough college courses that I surpassed master's degree, maybe 2 master's degrees, because I've changed my subject so many times, or my, what I was going for. So, back onto dog training. Don't pick the puppy up all the time. Let the dog walk like it naturally would around, all right? Now, feeding time is crucial. If you have a puppy, you just adopted, I'm talking like 5-6 months and below. Using food using your hand feeding them, and using food, to have them come to you. And I wouldn't even say their name yet. This is just going to come right to you. Food, immediately. Come right to you. Food immediately. I have a ton of videos on this with my 5-week-old puppy 3 acres away coming to me off leash from 3 acres away. Her name was Scarlett. She got taken from her mom at a very young age, and she ended in my hands. I ended up keeping her. I wasn't planning to. I videotaped on how I did that. I just did it again on another puppy that was here, and we're going to be doing a whole series since we foster mothers and their puppies that are going to be euthanized down south to bring them up here. And that's a whole nother subject. Trainers out there telling people not to, spay neuter their dogs. Regular household pet people. Spay neuter your dogs. I'm a vice president of a very well-known dog and animal cat shelter up here in eastern PA. One of the biggest ones. Spay neuter the dog. We see the accidents, and then me, have to, because you didn't spay neuter the dog, have to take care of the dogs that you decided not to have your dog spay neuter. And then if that's not the case down south, oh, cute little mommy with puppies, euthanize. It's happening right now. I just said it. It's happening again right now as I speak. And it's happening again right now. Moms are being euthanized left and right because of that nonsense outlook. Now, if you're bettering the breed and need to breed the dog for bettering the breed, I'm for that. Better the breed. But if you're out there just backyard breeders, stop. You know, if you follow the puppies where they end up in an animal shelter or rescue. And what happens, they end up in the hands of people not following this puppy advice right here, and then they bite them. And now we got a problem. So, back on puppy stuff. Puppy comes to you, food. Start this very, very young. Because eventually you're going to teach the dog their name. And that is, I like teaching a default focus. This is household pet training, all right? So I say a dog's name, my dog Apple, right here. I'll say, Apple, she looks at me, food. So if you start making your dog's name, dog is near you. And I don't care what you want to name your dog. My dog's Scarlet, I say Scarlet, boom, food, as soon as she looks at me. She'll look away for a second, I'll say Scarlet, boom, food, as soon as she looks at me. Because what you don't want to do with the come command is then say Apple come. And then she's going to think that the come command is an Apple come. Remember, you're teaching them our language. Keep it as simple as possible. So when we're teaching our commands, we like very simple. Sit, down, come, place, heel, break. All right? Sure, I'm forgetting something anyway, because I'm teaching the puppy stuff right now. But this is the things, you want to keep it very simple on the commands, especially with a puppy, because they are trying to pick up everything that you're saying. So try not to do this while I'm doing here. You may see some videos and it'll be a mistake on my behalf or my trainers, because you're speaking and the dog is listening to all of these words that I'm saying right now and has no idea what I'm saying except look at the word for come. Huh? What? They'll start looking. Their name. Huh? Somebody said my name. So basically, you're rewarding the dog for an action. Now, this is where it gets tricky. And this is why I say, stay for the love of God. Stay away from positive only or force-free dog trainers. If their name or website says positive only or force-free, stay away from them. Because they're lying to you off the bat. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here to tell you the honest truth about everything here, right? So, but now remember, now if you start, as the puppy grows, 5, 6 years old, you definitely should be teaching a sit within the first 2-3 months. So the dog, you're going to take the treat and you're going to bring it over the dog's head, with their nose next to it, and then you're going to say sit as their butt is going. And then once their butt hits the ground, reward. All right? You're going to get to the point where you're going to hold the treat around the dog and start walking. And giving the treat is key. Open palm. You can put the treat right between your thumb there, between your 2 fingers here. But you want to open palm. And don't be dragging or looking for the treat. Have this treat ready to go. So you're going to say, you're going to drag the up treat. You're going to sit. Treat right there as soon as they sit. And then you can start walking around and holding the treat and then let it go for a second. So that they understand that their butt stays on the ground and we're working on duration here. But that sit command should be, a sit is great. A come command is what's really going to be one of the most crucial commands your dog knows. So the reason why I was bringing up to stay away from positive only and force free, because they're going to lie to you off the bat. The dog goes to sit, then they remove the treat. That's called negative punishment. So in learning theory, you got positive reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment, and negative reinforcement. Why would they lie to you and say that we don't use anything but positive reinforcement, where clearly in front of your eyes they removed the treat from the dog, negative punishment? They just lied to you. That's positive only training. Force free, if they have a leash on the dog, it's already, they lied to you about force free. Because if there's any tension, I'm talking any tension on that leash, that is force. So I would question them and say, what is going on there? How come they're using force? Right? So stay away from this stuff. I mean, if you literally, if I went to I have 3 children. If I went to my kid's classroom and the teacher said, listen, we never, ever use books in this classroom. Ever. We don't use them. And we don't use pens. First thing they do is ask my kid to do a problem. He pulls out a pen and starts doing it. I'm going to say, hey, wait. You just told me that they don't use pens. Oh, well, sometimes we... No, no, no. You just got done telling me you use no damn pens in this classroom. And the same thing, I go to the teacher classroom, they go, we don't use any books. We use no books in this classroom. And I sit there, the parents do it just to watch what's going on in the classroom, and the teacher says, all right, students, take out your books. Whoa, 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 whoa. You just got done telling me you use no books. You're a liar. So that's why we're not going to sit here and pull strings with this. So if they remove the treat, negative punishment. If they have a leash on a dog, it's not force-free. So my style with the puppy come command is, it really depends on how your life is set up. I'm lucky enough to live in a house with a fenced-in backyard. You could do this in an apartment as well, absolutely. But I don't like putting the leash on the puppy because remember, that's causing force. If you have any type of tension on that, that's force. So, all right, I want you to get understand of that. I don't care if it's buckle cut. You'll pour force. I don't care if it's lightly. I'm not hardly doing it. Lightly, that's force. So what we're going to do is no leash, force-free whatsoever. I like teaching puppies a come command on their feeding. And you'll see it in some of the videos, even my son helping out. My son loves to help out. So I'll say, come, come, and it's the only time I'll repeat the commands until the puppy in that video was 8-9 weeks old. By the end of that week, it would only be a come. But come, come, as soon as they come to me, food's down. Boom. I'm not waiting for a sit and waiting or anything like this. And again, remember, the dogs that we're working with, or most dogs that you own, you're not dealing with very easily trained dogs like a Malinois or German Shepherd, or dogs that are genetically a Border Collie ready to rock and roll. These are usually mixed dogs. And they have a lot of things going on genetically. We're just teaching them simple household way of dog training. So as soon as they come to us, come, boom. All the fosters and rescues could do this with the dogs. Imagine, dog gets adopted out, no come command already. Not food resource guarding. The worst thing to do is leave that food out for the puppy all day long. Don't do that. That removes the feeding ritual between dog and human. So imagine my kids, they come, I have 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. There is never any dinner or breakfast, nothing. Just eat whatever you want. Think about the relationship that we would have together. All right? So same thing here, ritual. Imagine the military. You know what? You arrived here, make your own beds. I have family that tell me stories all the time about military. So just do what you want. Chow time, just there is none. Take your time, do what you want. Like, if there's no structure, the lack of structure is what's going to cause the dog to have issues, right? So I'm just concentrating on this puppy come command. I'm hoping this video is working out and everything that I'm doing here, because it's just a test pilot what I'm doing and showing you, but trying to get some information out there. Again, reiterate, you're going to, little puppy, food in the bowl, some high reward food, maybe some chicken. All right? Come, 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 come. As soon as they get to you, boom, food's there. Good. Now once the food's there, like I did in the video, I'll stand there, I'll put my hand in the bowl, move it around, take the bowl away, put it back, boom. I had a video with my own dog Scarlet where my wife, it's on YouTube, went to grab a bone from my puppy Scarlet. She was about 8 weeks old or so, and she growled. This is the moment that almost every client I talk to, they miss when they have a severe resource guarding dog. I said, Jess, do it again. I want to show my viewers and clients how we're going to resolve this. She went to growl, smack on the butt. Nope, take the bone away. Never growled again. My kids could do everything. Now, positive only force-free people in their science would say that that dog would hate me because I punished her. They would hate me because she would hate me because I punished her. If anybody knows Scarlet, loves me. Right? That is not the science that they're giving out is animal abuse. That's not animal abuse. There was a purpose for the punishment. What they want to confuse the people in public with is any punishment is animal abuse. That's ridiculous. So there's movements right now that if you say the word no to your dog, you could be put in jail. You'd be charged with a felony. I'm not kidding you. From force-free and positive only trainers. So when if you're going to punish the dog, it has to be a reason behind it. Now, if Scarlett was just walking by and I walked by and kicked her, yeah, I deserve to go to jail. That's not training. If the dog is the purpose behind it, oh, you did that to me? Boom, no. Take the treat around. I can't tell you how many clients, and I've been documenting this stuff, and I'm waiting for a university to need a study on this stuff. I'm waiting to give it to them. It's the public's information, and I can call the public up, and they will speak for themselves to the university about what they've been through with positive only force-free training. People that are missing their thumb from positively and force-free training, just like how Victoria Stilwell just got mauled for severe resource guarding. Simply just trade off. The dog wants that, I'm going to give him a piece of steak. Adult dog? No, screw that steak, I'm coming for you. Now, I'm not sure if that dog got euthanized, but it's absolutely Victoria Stilwell's fault. It's on video. And then they're giving the other shows crap that's on National Geographic. Impossible Dog, whatever, and Cesar Millan. That stuff's real-world dog training. And any dog trainer that is balanced is not saying that they're seeing that. They're lying. I don't care what you're doing. I just seen a video, and Barbellian's one of the best dog trainers in the world. I mean, but he's doing bite work. Mal's sitting there trying to bite him. He's lighting him up on a remote collar. 100. It looked like 100. Dog screaming for its life. But there's a purpose behind it. In the sporting world, there was a purpose behind it. But you don't see asking for bans. Somebody just got banned from the IACP for throwing a bath towel. I mean, this dog's screaming for its life for quite a few minutes. And I get it. I'm not sitting here saying, oh no, there's a purpose for it. There's a reason why they were doing it. It's not what I do, but there was a reason why they were doing it. But if I was doing it, dude, I would be crucified. And it would be by the same people that are actually in the video doing it. That's the craziness with balance and positive. You have the balanced dog trainers. Oh, look at these dog trainers. They know all. Praise them. Bow down. We are not worthy. Wayne's World, we're not worthy. And then people that they're doing that to are literally the same people doing the stuff. Literally the same exact people. I'm not kidding you. Like the videos that I have that I keep because I download them so they can't get rid of them. Oh my God. You know, it's bad. It really is. And the reason I download is because one day I might be training a dog and a correction is used, and then all of a sudden they're all on trying to attack me. I'm going to say, let's pull up this video here then. Let's see this. You know, so always save your own ass because there's people ready to stab you in the back. And I've been stabbed in the back. Again, this is just a test video. I'm going over the puppy stuff, but I'm also talking about stuff that's going to be on our new YouTube channel. So I want you to stay tuned for that. We will be talking about stuff. I used to have a podcast that was all over the world. It was a global podcast. And I stopped doing that. It was just too much going on at the time. And I'm back in action. I want to start, talking dogs again. What's right, what's wrong. And sure, there's criticism. But like I was talking to my buddy, I like this guy, Jonas Black, if you're not following. There's ways to criticize people. And then there's just assholes out there. You're doing this wrong. You know what? Do it your way. I'm doing it my way, and I don't give a crap about your way. But the honesty is, if they had something nice to say, hey, listen, I know you're doing it that way. There's ways to put it in words. But did you ever try to think about doing it this way? I know your way works, but there's another way. Did you try it with that dog? And I never handled that dog before, so I'm not sure. That's the other thing. People make a lot of comments on dogs that they never handled before, and then they're the masters. Meanwhile, they're sitting behind their keyboard like this. No. Did you ever handle that dog? You don't know that dog. I'm just showing a short video on how I'm training this dog. So if you want to criticize it, fly your butt out here, and I want to see you work with the dog. And this goes for force-free positive only trainers too. I mean, out of all the shelters and rescues I'm involved with, they're involved with none. Just like PETA. 90% of the dogs that come into PETA are euthanized. 90, not 19, 90. Force-free positive-only trainers, none in these things. They do not want the difficult dog, and they sure as heck ain't videotaping it to show the evidence that their science works. So that's why we use the word science to back in our mission statement, because I'm taking that word back. So when I'm talking positive reinforcement, positive punch, negative reinforcement, negative punch, that's science. So when they're saying that the science says that you say you only use positive only, but you remove the treat, cause negative punishment. That's a lie. So your science is lying. Science says that when Victoria Stilwell did the trade-off with the severe resource guarding dog, the dog would have took it. No, she got mauled. So your science is being disproven every single time, right? So where our science is, we're videotape. We videotape everything. So you're seeing beginning and end result, right? I hope you're liking this video. I'm just testing this out to see how this new stand works and if I like it in the standing position or not. One more thing. We're going to continue this puppy series, and that is just the feeding part. I want to talk about crating. Crating is key for your puppy. Why is it? Well, I never want to crate. My dog gets a cage. I get people on here that give me death threats for putting the dog in a crate. They never say this to the police officer, ever. Ever. Or the veterinarian. When you bring your vet in, you have to stay overnight. Guess where your dog's at? It's in a crate. No death threats to the veterinarian. But they'll do it. Because you're doing something right, they'll give you a death threat, make fun of your children, stuff like that. And, a lot of it is, that, got a lot of death threats made fun of children from the Reisner people. Reisner, possible fake veterinarian. We still don't know if the person's a veterinarian. But that person caused a lot of hate. I don't even know the person. Never got an apology. Never got an apology for the hate that she caused me. And all I did was show how we remote collar train a dog in a crate to be calm. And I showed it after effects without medicating the dog. Because all they want to do is medication, 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 medication. Right? And that's if they're a veterinarian. I don't know. But, when they go to the vet, dog goes in the crate. So even though people that hate the crate, your dog may need to go in a crate overnight, and now it has a heart attack and dies because you never showed them how to properly be in a crate. So that's why it's important to crate train your dog. So we will be teaching the puppies that get here when they get up, when they arrive. We're doing a video on how to do that. All right. So again, thanks for watching. This is a longer video. For all my supporters, I thank you more than you know. My team thanks you. Our dog daycares are doing fantastic. Our training facility is doing fantastic. I'm in the process now of consulting on opening dog daycares and training centers. I got an opportunity to go down to Delaware. Somebody reached out. We're going to help them open up their dog daycare, and we're going to go down to Florida and consult and help them open up a dog daycare. We know what we're doing with this. All right, we're doing this since 2006. So just keep that in mind when you're talking dog daycare. I seen them open, I seen them closed, and I see a lot of things wrong with ones that are operating. So some people are good dog trainers, but they don't know dog social packs at all. So stay tuned. I want to touch on those things too, but I really want to thank the supporters. And to the people that just, hate me for whatever reason, I train dogs, I save dogs' lives. I might not be with the methods that you like, but, the hypocrisy is, and people will say this, I would rather euthanize my dog than ever use a prong collar. And I know positive-only people that support did that. What's more of a disservice, euthanizing your dog because it needed proper dog training? Or or just having the proper dog training. I mean, come on. So I'm hoping that this helps educate you real world dog training and help you understand the quadrants. So for the ones that are lying, yes, we're using a ton of positive reinforcement to train dogs. But if we remove a treat from a dog, it's negative punishment. And if you have a leash on the dog, it's negative reinforcement. And if that leash tensions up whatsoever and the dog wants to go in another direction and you don't allow it, that's positive punishment. So all 4 quadrants are being used by these force-free and positive-only dog trainers, but they're lying to you. So we want to be as honest and have you educated as possible on dog ownership. Not only just, I could show you, just do this with the dog. Just do it, feed them this way, that's it. I don't want to do that. I want to educate you on the dog, how to effectively communicate with the dog. So that's where we want to go with this. And this series that we're going to be running on here on YouTube, it's going to be really cool. So thank you for tuning in. I have a business meeting I got to head to right now, but I appreciate all you. Have a nice day.